It's a good thing to know that you're here. Yeah, and welcome back. Welcome back to the pod, people. Yeah, today weekend preview show, and it's time to preview the weekend football. And of course, we go into previewing the games we have this weekend straight up. But then, before that, we have to talk briefly about the action in the midweek Champions League football. If you've not watched the preview of the Champions League, the video is down there. Click and get a watch of what we discussed pre-match and everything that happened in the game. And yeah, most of the things we said, most of the things that was discussed here actually happened, um, you know, in the games in the Champions League games. So if you've not gotten the watch, the video, the link is here in the description. The video is down there as well. Click and get a watch. And so straight up, let's go to the games on Tuesday. We had Barcelona easy win, as said, against Brest, and we had other games as well, like the Bayern Munich PSG game. Of course, I always said that was the game that went a bit. Not really. The result was correct, but then the outcome, like in terms of goals, wasn't. I think that was the game we got a little bit wrong. I think it was the kind of the opposite of the Arsenal game in it, because in the Bayern game I said, like, I was expecting PSG to turn up as well. They've been really poor and all of that, but PSG they actually turned up rubbish. Actually, they turned up, yeah, they turned up, but they turned up rubbish. So Bayern with that nick of a goal through Kim and 1-0 Bayern. So it wasn't really an interesting game like we predicted. And then of course we had the Arsenal game. Arsenal, it was a surprise, isn't it? The Arsenal game was a really surprise. And where do we start from? Like we got to talk about this game. The Arsenal game was really fascinating, and as an Arsenal fan, yeah, I have to do this. Yeah, like I was really scared. I was really scared going into the game because I was like, oh, Manchester City went there, got banged. Like these guys have been cruising, never lost a game in 18 months, won their last game 6-0 at home, and Arsenal just returning back to winning ways. Like it was always going to be mad. And what did we do? Like Victor Gyökeres, all the players, all the man, he's the hottest player right there, out there right now in Europe. Yeah, he's on there. Him and Erling Haaland. I mean, him and Erling Haaland are the hottest strikers out there right now in Europe. And in fact, he's outperforming Haaland, as a matter of fact. So you can always be aware that this guy is going to turn up and do something. But in the end, someone did the celebration, but it was never him. It was never him, fam. It was Gabriel who went up. Gabriel pulled up in that park and dunked up their clat. His trademark goal again. Like, I love that guy, that Gabriel. Yeah, I love him. Like, he always take up battles. He loved battles. He loved to go for challenges and, win stuff. So it was a great game, and Arsenal won 5-1. Yeah, there's nothing more to talk about. Like, goals, it was just a goal galore. So, and the other game of the day was Inter Milan Leipzig. I said so. Everything I said happened exactly, and Inter Milan won the game 1-0. So 1-0 to the Inter again. 0 goals conceded in the Champions League, and they're just right up there. The guys are really cruising. Congratulations to them. And yeah, we move on to the next day. The next day, of course, as you all know, we talked about the Real Madrid Liverpool game. The Real Madrid Liverpool game, we said it was always going to be a difficult one. It was always going to be a test for Liverpool. Myself, I predicted Real Madrid was going to turn up there and do something. Yeah, they did something really. Liverpool won the game. Real Madrid was really poor. They did absolute nothing. Yeah, that was the thing they did. Like, yeah, they did something, and that something was nothing. You understand? Real Madrid turned up to that game like, Like it was 11 p.m. in it. Like, yeah, it's time to go to bed. It's time to go to bed. Like, game over. They were unserious. I don't want to even mention Mbappe. I know everyone get onto Mbappe and all of that. Mbappe is not the only player in Real Madrid. There are 10 other players in the team in it. But then I would definitely have to talk about him because he played absolutely rubbish. His body language really really visible. Yeah, his body language was really visible. Players, defenders, and midfielders talking off the ball off his legs and attacking Real Madrid. It was really what's the this guy Connor who Liverpool right back Connor who was it the name that young kid, he locked him up. He locked, Mbappe up. Like, Mbappe had no chance. I mean, the game was rubbish. Real Madrid was really rubbish, and the game ended, you know, 2-0 to the Liverpool, 2-0 to the Reds. So yeah, it was a good weekend. I mean, midweek, and yeah, we the games we had other games, and all the results were really, expected results. Juventus traveling to Aston Villa, that result 0-0. It was always an expected result, and the game was done from the start. You know what Juventus does? They did their thing. Aston Villa out of form. We'll talk about them very soon as well. So that game ended 0-0, not to anyone's surprise. What I mean. And we had uh, we had the Europa League games as well. Tottenham drawing 2-2 with Roma. Roma with that late equalizer at the White Hart Lane. Also Manchester United as well, winning 3-2 with that thin margin. 3-2 against Elfsborg, right? Or Bodo Glimt. I mean, it was a really poor. For me, the result is poor. The performance can be good, but I always said, and I said it in the last weekend preview here, that the players are always going to try to impress the coach. And it's not this time. It's not about impressing the coach. You have to do your thing. Then I think they were doing too much, and I mean, conceding 2 goals, a team like Bodo Glimt coming to Old Trafford and going and coming from behind to go ahead and all of that. It's not really a good form yet. But then we'll see. They're building, and let's see that they keep on, building from there gradually and climb up the table. Now it's time for the team to prove something, because I think Everton is going to be a bigger test than Ipswich, even though they traveled away to Ipswich last weekend. But Everton, this time they're hosting Everton. But let's see how they'll fare, in that game. So yeah, so that was the main highlights of the Europa League, and let's talk about the preview to the weekend. This is the main show that we're here for. So this weekend begins with Brighton hosting, Southampton, and of course, as you all know, Brighton has been very very good this weekend. They've been very very good. They've been especially at home in scoring goals. They're tied on same point with Arsenal and Chelsea. They are just outside the Champions League position by goal difference. So you can tell how good they are. So you always expect that Brighton is going to perform because they would want to win that game and go ahead, above Arsenal and Chelsea to third place. Like, that's where they are. If they win the game, they go third place on the log. On the log. So they're really in a good position. I must tell you. And Southampton, on the other hand, are really struggling. They gave Liverpool, although they gave Liverpool a very good test at home last weekend, losing 3-2 to Liverpool, but then I don't see them really coming or going to Brighton and putting up a show. It's a derby. It's the coast derby. I think them both are just about 63 miles away, distance away from themselves. So it's going to be a derby. But then I don't really see Southampton pulling up any any surprises there. So I see Brighton. I mean, doing that high scoring game again, and especially it's under the lights. Fans are going to be charged. They want to get back. They want to like see themselves in that sport, that Champions League sport. It's going to be motivation. Stadium is going to be rocking, and I don't see Brighton, Southampton getting out of that. So I would easily go for a 3-1 win for them. Segus, Brighton. So of course, on Saturday we also have the Arsenal game happening on Saturday. Arsenal travel to West Ham, the London derby. They travel to the London Stadium to take on rising West Ham. Of course, West Ham with that very very surprise win at Newcastle on Monday. Of course, it was a performance that no one really expected. Going to Newcastle and putting up that show, beating Newcastle 2-0. It was a great result for them, and it was going to be a very big morale booster for them. They've been really performing really badly, and rumors actually emerged that Lopetegui actually got two. They were. I think he was given 2 matches to save his job. Yeah, his job was on the brink, or he's on the brink, seriously. And he was given 2 games. He won one away to Newcastle, and of course, this is going to be the bigger test for him. As you remember, Arsenal went there last season and did 6. You know, Arsenal gave Arsenal won West Ham 6-0. You know, last season at the London Stadium. So of course, you will not be expecting that kind of a result this time, but it's always going to be an Arsenal win. It's always going to be an Arsenal win. I would want to try to give West Ham a chance, but I don't see them putting themselves together because I mean Arsenal have really found a way, and they're coming back from the Champions League with a lot of confidence as well, and it's going to be a great game. And I say this game I can't really tell, but I don't see. I mean, I'm not looking at a high scoring game. I'm not looking at the high scoring game. Maybe 2-0 or 2-1 to the Arsenal, and yeah, we'll see how that pans out in it. So yeah, and of course, same day we'll talk about the same Saturday where we have a big game as well in Germany with Borussia Dortmund hosting Bayern Munich as well. As you all know, it's the most played match in Germany. Dortmund Bayern Munich is the most played football game in the league. I mean, yeah, in Germany in general, you know. So it's the game is a kind of this game is kind of mixed feeling. Of course, the game will always give you what you expect of it. It's always going to give you what you expect. It's like the London Derby in it. The London Derby never disappoints. You always get what you want. Although I mean I'm talking about the not London Derby. It's Arsenal Tottenham. Although as you all know, recently the Arsenal has been dunking on those class. So, but then the last meeting between Dortmund and Bayern Munich, I think Dortmund won the game, and it's going to be a morale booster for them, and especially the fact that they are 10 points, behind Bayern Munich at the moment. So it should give them that booster to go out there and really perform, especially that they are hosting Bayern as well. So I think the fans are going to be up for it because they know if they lose the game, that's almost the title is done. But if they win, they're back they're fully back in it. So I expect that Dortmund is going to pull out a string there. As a matter of fact, I would actually go with a Dortmund win because I don't know if it's because I actually have a soft spot for Dortmund as well. As a matter of fact, but I see them doing something against Bayern and getting all 3 points. So, of course, having talked about that, we go straight to the next day, and of course, we have some very good games on Sunday coming up on Sunday as well with with Chelsea, starting the day at 2:30 p.m. and of course, um, Chelsea are hosting Aston Villa. I made mention about Aston Villa before. They've been really poor. Aston Villa have been doing really bad, and for a long time they've been struggling. And I think we had people had a lot of high hopes for Villa, like they were going to continue from where they stopped last season. Of course, the first few games they were up for it, but then I think the morale actually went down, and they're not really performing at peak at the moment. So, and now they travel to Old Trafford, I mean to Stamford Bridge to play Chelsea. Chelsea right now flying. They're doing really well, and they're really going to. I think it's going to be a case where who has scored each other again. It's going to be of who has scored each other. Definitely, they've scored Chelsea, and but who has scored? I'm seeing a kind of a 3-2 win for Chelsea because Villa will always pull up when it's the London derby, especially it's a London derby. They'll always make their statement, but I see Chelsea again as scoring them, 3-2 in that game. It's going to be an exciting game to watch, and of course, we'd always want to be there to watch these games. And of course, Manchester United hosts Everton. I think we talked about this earlier, and that is where I said this is where we're really going to know if United Manchester United has really picked up and try and ascending. If they win this game, it's going to be brilliant for the new coach and the fans and everything. The players going to give them morale booster and everything. And what they need right now is confidence for me. I think they got a very deep squad, and with all the players back, I think the only thing they need is confidence. And if they're able to get that over Everton, it is going to be really, really big for them. It's going to be really, really big for them if they get that win, and it's going to set up the next game. I think the next game is against Arsenal. It's going to set up a very big clash. Well, however, whatever it is, Arsenal and Manchester United football match would always be a big clash, and they seem to turn up for the game so much against Arsenal, even when they were so down last season. At the back end of last season, when we went there, like we really struggled because they were really up for the game. They really, and we managed to win that game 1-0. So it is what it is, and we'll see how that game goes as well. And of course, Tottenham hosts Fulham as well at White Hart Lane. And last night Tottenham drew 2-2 with Roma. Of course, it's not really a bad result because Roma is a great team as well. And of course, that's my host city. So Roma is actually a great team, and you'd expect that kind of a result actually. Although Roma is not known for high scoring currently, but then 2-2 is not a bad result for Tottenham, and yeah, they host Fulham now at the weekend at White Hart Lane. It's going to be a really rocking stadium again, and would expect a great game because Fulham is going to be up for it. They've been doing really, really well, and of course we got Fulham with 3 Arsenal players there: Smith Rowe, Nelson, and Iwobi, and it's going to be a really big game, and you know what that is. I mean, these guys going into White Hart Lane, they know what it means. I think this is the first time 3 of them going there together, and in a different team. I know Iwobi has gone there in a different team and all of that, but he's going to be having some companies, with him like that. that mentality, when the Gunners or that they're all going to remember that those times when the Gunners, travel to or go to the White Hart Lane, because it's not really travel, it's just down the road, So uh, it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great game. So we'll see. I think I think Fulham may actually pull up a result, not really because of these three players, but I believe that they've been doing really great, and Tottenham don't really perform so well against these mid teams, because once they meet these mid teams, they seem to always falter, and the mid teams always take advantage of that. So I'm seeing Fulham actually getting a result out of that, and we'll see how that goes. Now, game of the weekend in the Premier League: Liverpool versus Manchester City. What's your thought, fam? What's your thought about this game, fam? This game is going to be peak. It's going to be peak. I mean, we were talking about Manchester City the other night before the Champions League. We gave Manchester City all the chance. They were going to perform and do well, and Emura booster and all of that. We said all of that about Manchester City, and what did they do? Went 3-0 up. Okay, fine, bravo. Then this man put 3 goals back at the Etihad. This man are done. I said it, yeah. Manchester City are done. They're finished. Long may it last. Long may it last. And again, I say, this man's been robbing football. Now football has come back. Karma has come back finally, So, yeah, and of course, and I don't need to say nothing. I don't need to say nothing. Liverpool crushing. Liverpool cruising. 11 points against City. And it's going to be really painful as an Arsenal fan that Liverpool are going to win that game and go 11 points above City and 9 points above Arsenal. It's going to, if Arsenal wins. So it's going to be really, really mad. It's going to be really, really mad that Liverpool will be running away with points like that. Although I'm still not giving the league to them, even if that happens. But if Liverpool doesn't win that game and, maybe it's a draw or City goes there and win, then Arsenal win, like everybody are back in the race. Liverpool, the title is done for Liverpool. They're not winning it because this is the best chance for them to demoralize everybody's mentality. Demoralize everybody like, oh, the league's done. Forget about it. It's their year. And if you can't do it now, forget about it. If you come back to 7 points or 6 points entering December, it's done. I said it last week that at the end of December last year, they were 5 points above everybody. 5 points. They ended up in the third position. So it's going to be a big concern in it. It's going to be a big concern if they don't win. But I have them cruising and crushing Man City in this game. Absolutely. The defense, the Manchester City defense is rubbish. Everyone playing rubbish from top to bottom in it, playing rubbish actually. And yeah, long may it last again. I keep on saying this, So yeah, and that's that for the Prem. For the Prem, of course, we have other games. Real Madrid as well. In the Spanish La Liga, Real Madrid hosting Getafe, and yeah, it's going to be a game where these guys are playing really bad football at the moment. Really playing bad football. Real Madrid and Manchester City, the team that anyone is going to fear. If they were in this form last season, maybe Arsenal won either the Prem and the Champions League, or one of them, definitely. Yeah, very well, especially the Premier League. But then it shit happens, isn't it? And then now they're down. It's another person who's there, but definitely we're rising and we're coming. The season is it's still very long, We still have very long, time before the season comes to an end. So let's see what happens. You know what I mean? So guys, this is the preview for the major games of the weekend. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Tell me what you think. You know how it is in the street. You know the vibes. You know absolutely everything already. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share. You know how it is in the street already. Hit the subscribe button, share and like this video, and make your comments in the comment section. See you lot soon.